12 months in the shed. We're now into winter. I'll talk about how it's been going. So if you're planning on doing this type of thing, I hope this helps. Or if you're unsure if you could even do this, you might now look at the way I've done it after 1 year and think, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, we'll talk about what's been happening. I didn't realise this, but it's always a habit of mine to always look away from the camera and around. And that's just the hunter in me. I'm always looking into the bush or ahead to see if there's something moving. Bait stations for rodents, you got to get them, eh? As soon as you build a dry shelter, rats and mice are going to try to get in. They're just drawn to it. Yeah, she knows. I'm quite lucky that the wee dog, she doesn't try to get into the poison boxes, and she won't even eat the dead ones she finds, so I'm very lucky there. If you don't want to use poison, I don't know, use traps or something, but yeah, you're gonna get a lot of rodents, more than you probably realised. So you got to control them, don't you? Yeah. And put spray foam under every single gap. It's polyurethane. For some reason they don't want to chew through it. It probably tastes terrible, but fill every gap you can find with spray foam to stop the little shits from trying to get in. So there's two types of heating you're going to have. One is going to work extremely well, the other one's going to suck. Okay, obviously a wood burner is incredibly hot and it's cheap. This is a 2 kilowatt heater. It is nowhere near efficient to heat even half of this shed. It creates a background warmth, I guess. But the only reason I bought that was because I had too much power and I was looking for a way to drain the batteries down just for the health of the solar system. So if you are relying on a wood burner and you plan that right from the beginning, get your firewood first before you build your shed. Absolutely, it's more important. Even in spring, we get really cold, wet weather. If you don't have firewood trees on your property and you have to buy it in, then so be it. You know, it gets damp, the air, you've got to sort that heat out. Get your water tank as soon as possible. I think you should have it here, ready to go as soon as you got your roof on. I think the first month I was using 20-litre containers for drinking water. Thinking back on one of the old videos, I talked about a portable gas heater for the shower. You know, when you're filling up 20-litre containers to shower with and drink, and you're doing that every second day, that gets tiring very quickly. I mean, if you're in the summertime, you know, you might not get rain for a long time. I'll be honest, I love this shower so much. I actually don't want to go back to having a indoor shower in a bathroom. I can't stand the thought of showering inside. That probably seems really weird, but I just love it. There's nothing better than having a hot shower at like 5 degrees below zero, really frosty morning, or at night looking up at the stars. So this, well, I suppose you can call it a cupboard porch area. This was built off the main side door purely just to house the solar. You want to keep that nice and dry. This could have been quite a decent sized kitchen or bathroom, but obviously, you know, I can't have water too close to the solar. But there's no reason why you couldn't do the same thing if you're on the grid and you didn't need to have your solar undercover like this. Yeah, there is no reason why you can't add additions onto the side. And I keep the washing machine out here too, and the water's just draining away onto the gravel and it soaks away. That's just temporary, obviously, until I get an actual grey water system set up. And yes, I'm using organic soap so it doesn't harm the ground. It sounds strange, but I've had a lot of people, they just want to focus on the negative. They'll say things like, oh, you must be cold, I bet you're burning through the wood, or I bet you've run out of water. They always want to just focus on the negative and try and push that negativity onto you. I might be reading into it too much, but I don't know, I don't want that attitude around me. And it's quite funny because it's those type of people that are the first ones to ask you for something. Oh, hey, you've got firewood, can I come get some firewood? Or can I have some venison? No, you can't. So you're not going to have a big fully functional kitchen, obviously. Big beautiful oven you're going to have to do without for a while. that could be a real problem for some people. Think, how long are you going to be doing it for, and are you prepared to make that sacrifice? It's only temporary, then you should be able to manage. You know, not having a dishwasher, people managed perfectly fine without them before they were invented. And have a really good think about what your shed is going to be for once you've built your house. Put some real good planning into it. For me, this is just going to be a workshop, so it's pretty basic. You might want to have glass ranch slider doors instead of roller doors. You may want more windows. Is it going to be a business, a hobbies room, a shop? Put a lot of thought into what the shed will be for the next 20, 30, 40 years. If you, right from the beginning, sort of take the attitude, oh God, this is going to be awful, but don't worry, it's not going to be for long. If you get yourself in that mind frame, then doing any additions and building work is going to become literally just work. You won't enjoy it. You'll probably come to hate it, and jobs won't get done. Things will drag on. Try to think positively and treat it like an adventure. Don't go getting yourself worked up about, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. Who cares? You have to treat the process like an adventure. This is fun. Let's just make the most of it. Composting toilets are another thing people get really weird about. I don't know why. And that's another thing I don't want to change either. I am going to have a composting toilet when I build my main cabin that I live in. And one of the reasons is I really like the idea that nothing leaves the property. So if I just had a normal septic tank, that has to be emptied. Someone's got to take that waste away. You know, that's just part of being self-sufficient and off the grid, is you take care of your own business. So I just use these IBC tanks for the compost waste, and when that is almost full, I'll cover the top with horse manure and add tiger worms, and they'll just break it down. This is it. I just put it around the trees. There is no smell. You cannot see any human waste whatsoever. It's just compost. You know, it becomes a resource, as you saw. Goes back into the earth. So I literally do have everything I need. Microwave, fridge, freezer, big ass TV, and my Starlink internet. And this is my kitchen area. Very basic, I know, but when you only eat meat, it's all I need. Some people might think I'm mad, but the fact that I only eat meat is a story for another day, I guess. I guess I'm easy to please. Geez, that sun's bright. So my happy place is when I go hunting in the bush and stay in a bush hut, you know, just real basic open fire, that sort of thing. So this kind of has that same feel, except I've got a few mod cons, I guess. There's nothing I wish I had or wanted. It's such an easy life to adjust to, going back to a few basic necessities. It actually makes you realise how much crap you spend your money on. Starlink internet is incredible. Haven't had a landline telephone for even back in town. I didn't have a landline phone. Haven't had one for probably 20 years. So I think that pretty much covers it. If I've missed anything, put a question in the comments and I'll try to cover anything I've missed. Better carry on with that cabin.